Hey everybody, Congressman Mark Green, welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday. For the last several weeks we've been comparing, conservatives to wokies. And I don't necessarily mean all Democrats, but the far leftists, progressives, the cancel culture bunch. Last week we had a little fun comparing Wookiees to wokies, but this week a little more serious. I want to talk about where Democrats and Republicans are actually aligned. And one of the key areas is on the Chinese Communist Party, and not necessarily the Chinese people. I mean, the issues with China have nothing to do with the Chinese people. It's all about the Chinese Communist Party. Well, there are basically four key areas where Democrats and Republicans agree, and I think you can see something coming out of this Congress. Human rights. The Chinese Communist Party has placed the Uyghur Muslim people into concentration camps. There's forced sterilization going on. It is no due process. You say something against the state, you look or appear threatening, you're in the concentration camp. There are forced confessions of people, not even Uyghurs, just their own citizens who disagree with the regime. And clearly there's no free press, and with the great internet wall or the great firewall of China, there's no free internet. In terms of 5G, a lot of Republicans and Democrats agree it's the Trojan horse, where China then owns all the data. And we know that they've hacked and captured data in the past. There was a huge hack of health insurance companies, and they captured Americans' healthcare data. So this is a clear national security crisis. Democrats and Republicans agree. On U.S. intellectual property, this is huge, and it's profound in the economic strength of the United States, which then powers our ability to pay for our national security. When they do joint ventures in China, our companies are forced to share their intellectual property with Chinese companies, and they undercut them in the market and put those businesses like Motorola out of business. Cybercrime, they're hacking the intellectual property. They actually have had physical spies at corporate headquarters and trade shows stealing secrets. The cost of the United States, $200 to $300 billion a year. American ideas. And Democrats and Republicans agree on this issue. We got to stop it. And lastly, semiconductors, which interestingly enough, the vast majority are made in Asia. There's a global shortage right now, and the blue here is the percentage of semiconductors made in Taiwan. And we all know what China wants to do with Taiwan. So some great efforts between Democrats and Republicans. There's a move to get semiconductors made in Arizona. A lot of good things happening there. That's Whiteboard Wednesday on a couple of areas where Democrats and Republicans actually agree.